Been there, done that.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Vergne Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee meeting. Today is March 16, 2026. We have a quorum, and I call this meeting to order. I know it's been a while, but I know Miss Molly sent them out. First order of business, I need a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
I got a motion from Miss Mary Jane and a second from Mr. Oliver. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? First of all, we want to welcome our newest member this evening.
Thank you.
Miss, she's got about 8 names.
I do not.
So I'll try to just use the short version. Miss Tarita Burrows, will that work?
Yeah.
Tarita? Tarita, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you would like to be here with the Parks and Rec Committee. Now, so to put you at ease,
what?
Our cameras are down, so we're not on TV.
Okay.
We're still down.
Okay.
So, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I don't mind cameras. I don't mind it anyway. But I'm Tarita. Tarita Wright. This is what a lot of people around here know me as. I'm originally from Smyrna. So I was very, very involved in activities in Smyrna and in Nashville and in Murfreesboro. Just a lot with the events, productions, and different kind of stuff. So I've been in Laverne, actually living in Laverne for probably 3, almost 4 years. So I've actually remember Smyrna and Laverne before Nissan. That's a whole different world. So I've just decided I was still involved a lot in Smyrna activities, and I'm like, I just need to be involved where I live. So I've been knowing Steve for a minute, and with him and with Hope, I'm like, hey, just give me some ideas of where I can fit in with my personality. I love people. I'm not shy. I never meet a stranger, and I talk a lot. So I just wanted to be, involved, and I always see like the Easter drive, the block parties, and I live close to, like, in the cottages, not F Forest. Like, so I pass all the signs all the time. And for over a year, I'm just like, I need to be there. I wonder if they're doing this and that. So I just have a lot of ideas. I'm a leader. I can be a follower. I can be a whatever, but definitely a team player.
And David, it's my understanding that Miss Tarita told me in a private conversation that if I would try to help her to move her along on this board, that she might be coerced into an Easter Bunny outfit.
Okay, now
I thought it was kind of history that all new members of the board the first year had to do it anyway.
Actually, I wouldn't care. I've actually done that too for my nieces and nephews, and I have an uncle who has the Easter Bunny suit, and he does that for Easter, for our Easter. So you try to put me on the spot, but I don't mind, Steve. I'm not at all.
So it looks like we've not met. Golly, I think in about 4 months because of the holidays and weather, me being out. So it looks like it's a new year. So we're going to have to make a motion, take some votes, and get me a new vice chair that will share this seat in case I cannot make it. So I will open it up for someone that would like to make a motion to appoint a vice chair.
How about Mr. Oliver?
No.
All right, so I have a motion for Mr. Oliver. Do I have a second? I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So, congratulations.
That was easier.
Sounds like you were voluntold.
Man, I love that man.
If I don't happen to be here and the cameras are on now, you're going to have to,
All right, let me tighten up there.
you're going to have to tighten up. Now, if you all have not been following the Board of Mayor and Alderman meetings, and we talked about this last year, we did away with the beautification board and added it to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee board. I'm not sure what all that curtails, so I'm going to let Kathy or David kind of explain that to us and tell us exactly what we are going to be confirming.
Several years ago, the city created an Arts and Beautification Committee as well as a Greenway Committee. About 2 years ago, probably, those two were combined into one. It was tough getting a quorum out of those. More times than not, our meetings canceled just due to lack of participation. The Greenway, the reason it was kind of rolled into the parks is this committee could handle all of that, those duties, since they met so infrequently. As far as the Greenway goes, there's really no funds in the city's budget at this time to move forward with that. So it didn't really make sense for us to meet on that aspect. The beautification, that would be kind of up to this board as to what you guys want to see, possibly projects in Laverne to kind of just make it look more appealing. I know the last board, one of the projects they wanted us to look into was kind of adding a little something off the exit over at Waldron Road. A lot of that is tied up with the state. So Andrew did reach out to our Public Works Department, who reached out to the state, and we have not got any response from them as to if we can do something over there. Maybe you get off the interstate, welcome to Laverne sign with some landscaping around it or something. So we're still trying to follow through on that. But that would kind of be up to this board. If there's something that in the future you guys wanted to bring that you'd like to see, that you would think would kind of beautify Laverne a little bit, that's what this committee would take also.
And just to give an idea I know I'm up on it, but maybe they're not, some things that the Greenway Committee already did and brought ideas and you all implemented, same way with the Beautification Board, what they presented ideas and what they came up with, just to give them an idea of, besides the thing by the interstate, what we're talking about.
Yeah, the Arts and Beautification Committee was actually the ones that spearheaded this mural on the side of City Hall. So we had that contracted out and done. I don't know if we have space anywhere else for the city for more murals, so I don't know if we want to look at something different than that. Instead, at one time, it was talked about, let's paint a mural under the underpass on the Greenway. We didn't think that was a great idea due to vandalism and getting tagged all the time. And I think city administration kind of thinks one mural on a city building is probably enough. So, yeah, we're looking at all different options.
And the Greenway Committee came up with what?
The Greenway has kind of been pigeonholed for the last several years because what we want to do is extend the Greenway from where it's at now. It ends at the roundabout on near Schreiman and Stones River Road. There's no road bed that runs down to the boat ramp. We'd eventually like to take that over and make that part of the walking trail also that dead ends down at the boat ramp. We do have the go-ahead from the Corps and the state. It's just the city coming up with funding to fund the project. So we do want to expand in that area. It's just how we come up with the funds at this point.
Are there ever any grants for a greenway or a beautification thing?
This mural was done partly with an arts grant, and I think it was a 50-50 grant. We did have a 100% grant from the county. I think one of our staff members actually painted a mural at one of the concession stands on the back ball complex. The Greenway, originally was built with part of a state grant. There are grants available out there for recreation trails that would fall under that. We're currently tied up with the TDEC grant for the Brookside Park. I think the trail grant is separate from that. So generally, if you have one TDEC grant out for a playground, you can't have a second one until that one's completed. But I don't think the trails would qualify for that. I think it's totally separate. So at this point, we don't have a grant writer for the city. So we could definitely look into that, but the city would still have to come up with the funds. Usually it's a 50-50 or an 80-20.
As the city grows and we get impact fees, I know that some of that goes towards Parks and Rec. Does any of that go towards Greenway or the beautification or anything?
I think it could, as long as it's new construction. Like last year, we updated our football field lights from the metal halide to the LED. So that was pulled out of some of those impact fees for that. I think as long as it's a one-time cost and not a recurring cost, we could probably use some of the impact fees for that.
And it didn't cost taxpayers any money, just so we're clear.
Well, where we're at on the Greenway, I think current engineering costs were estimated to be at $400,000.
$400,000.
So that was just to get the engineering plans done, and so the city would have to put that money up forward, and then we couldn't justify spending $400,000 on plans and telling how long they're going to sit there. If they sit there 5 years, then we've got to redo the engineering. So if we could allot $400,000 to the plans and $3 million to this Greenway project, if we had that, then we'd be in good shape. But the city's got so many needs, we got to kind of look at the whole thing as the city as a whole.
You said we don't have any grant writers?
The city currently doesn't have a grant writer on
So
staff.
how do we get grants now?
Each department has been doing their own. I think they're exploring the options of maybe doing a contracted grant writing agency, but we haven't had a full-time grant writer in several years.
Yeah, what was her name, the last one?
Monteque Buster.
No, it was after Monteque.
Oh, Kamisha? Yeah.
Kamisha, yeah, she,
Kamisha left probably about 2 years ago.
Kamisha.
Yeah. I was thinking she was.
It's a great question. And to take it a step further, we did have one, and she, I think she worked for the city off-site for a while before.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure. I don't guess she's with us anymore.
No, sir. She's not.
Are we putting in or getting somebody in or
I think they're exploring options to do a contracted agency, but since then we have put in for the Blue Cross grant. We've done that in-house in our department. Our department's recently put in for a Lowe's Hometown grant, which would be geared more towards the senior center. So if there's any grants that come down the line that we're made aware of, we try to handle those in-house in our department, just because we know we don't have a grant writer, so we don't want to let anything pass. But as far as like the state grants, we're tied up bottleneck now until we can complete this Brookside project.
Do you think, and this may be a question for Bruce instead of you, but I'm just asking, do you think that our city has grown enough that maybe, and if we have the money and the budget, because budget season's coming up, that we could keep a full-time grant writer busy to justify paying their salary and insurance and everything?
Yeah, I don't know. That would be a question for he'd be more knowledgeable to answer that. I think you could. I think there's all kinds of grants floating around out there.
It is.
It's just having the personnel to pursue them that has the time and the means to do the research. The Blue Cross grant, which it was 100% playground grant that offered through Blue Cross Tennessee. It took all of us not knowing how to do a grant that well. It was still time consuming for us.
That's what I mean. Hiring a full-time grant writer is definitely an expensive task as far as salary and insurance, and of course taxpayers have to pay for that. But
Well, I think if you were to get somebody on,
Yeah. Get it done.
if you were to get somebody on staff that got familiar with the systems like the TDEC grant, every time we have to go input something in there, we do it so infrequently that it's a learning curve every time you go in there. You have to remember how to navigate their system.
We always have people on the outside calling me, texting me, why don't you all do this or why don't you all do that with this grant stuff? Well, if we don't have a grant writer, you can't just say, well, okay, I'll look at, because you don't want me looking into it.
Well, and I will say this as far as grants go. They are good, but then they have their good side and they have their bad side. This Brookside grant, it's been going on 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
So in that 5 or 6 span that we're waiting on them to approve plans, and once our contractor got approved, it took another 2 or 3 months for the state to approve it, because we'd submit the information and they'd want page 7 out of 100 again. So in that 5 or 6 years, could we have built that ourselves at the price cheaper than what it is 5 or 6 years later? I don't know. There's good and bad. Once you get everybody's hands involved, then you have to jump through. You have to adhere to their guidelines because it's their money.
It's usually a small window too, isn't it?
It's usually not this long of a window. We hit COVID also, and that pushed things back.
Yeah.
And then the contractors' prices and supplies started increasing, so they came back and were willing to allot more money to the project. So, yeah, this has been long and drawn out. It's usually a 2-year window.
Any more questions about Greenway, Parks and Rec, beautification?
Lake over there, I live over there off of Stones River, Lake Forest, but the lake over there, ever since I've been here, they said they was going to do something over there by that lake. And it had nothing. They got potholes, and I mean, you can't even drive over there.
We just, the last 2 meetings ago, we just, after all the, golly, it's been going on for 10, 12 years, we just now got, as David said, just now got some clarity from the Corps of Engineers. Man, it's like pulling teeth with them people. I mean, we just now,
So they finally agreeing to do something? Or?
Well, like he said, they did, but now we got to pay $400,000
come and draw up a plan
just to write it on, just to write it on paper. And and we're fixing to go into budget next month, I think, with Board of Mayor and Aldermen. When you got that coming at us, and you've got to make a decision between spending $400,000 just for some plans, or you've got to spend $400,000 for fire, police, safety, road improvements. God, I could go on and on and on. As a board, we have to try and figure out where to shift that money to. Be nice if they'd take payments.
They keep shipping it away from.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, do we want to, if we have that money, do we want to, you take people like us who are sports advocates and people advocates and walking advocates, and then you got the people that want their street fixed. Can't have both. Doesn't work that way. So we have to make a decision. It's like I would love to have a recreational center. That would be my best thing.
Everybody's been saying that for
years.
But there again,
talked about putting a little playground over there too.
What we could do is raise taxes. Now that's only one way to run a city. Only one. That's taxes. Now, we've got people in this city that can't even afford to pay their light bill.
Yeah.
And they don't care 2 cents about where some kid's going to go play. To us, that is important. But to them, it's not, and they have just as much say-so as these people. So that's why being up on that board is not for the faint of heart. We have to make those decisions, and it gets very frustrating. I would love and I think we even looked into a recreation thing at one time, and just for the building, just for the building was going to be $20 million. That's without a basketball goal in there. So now, with that being said, and I'm not going to trample on these people. They did their thing, and that's what it is. But hopefully, knock on wood, with the twinning stations coming, the big thing they're building out on the other side of the interstate that's going to bring millions and millions to our city, with the things that are going on Murfreesboro Road, plus there's some other things in the mix that I'm not a liberal to talk about. Hopefully, realistically, within 5 years, maybe, when twinning stations up, running, and all that income is coming in, then we can start talking about some of the bigger things that the city wants. But that's a whole different story. But there has to be goals, and the recreation center was not on nobody's radar except for that one. And we just have to wait our turn. But anyway, on the other subjects, anybody got any more questions before we move on?
Sure.
Jump in, Tarita. Don't be afraid.
I'm not. I still have a question yet.
Okay. All right.
Time frame on
She's
Brookside.
listening.
Yeah.
Time frame on Brookside.
The contract end date is August
August
30th,
15th.
15th.
Yes. So
But I would say they're probably 80% done as far as the contracting work out there, waiting on some good dry weather so they can get the walking trail in. After that, next budget year, which starts in July, hopefully we'll get the playground equipment in. So probably early fall, I would think, if everything goes well.
I can't check my mail, but I haven't seen any bobcats, so it's a win-win.
Oh, you live over there in that area?
Yeah.
So they've been at a standstill for a while, just due to the weather, which I'm surprised they've been able to get as much done as they have.
They've been fairly quiet, so no complaints.
Yeah.
Any more questions? All right. I guess we're back to Kathy now, and we will talk about the Easter drive coming up 2 weekends.
All right, so Saturday, March 28th, it is from 10 to 11:30. It's going to be set up the same way as before. We'll funnel the cars through the front parking lot. We'll have 2 rows going down the main drive in the park, and they'll exit through the condos at the back. We've got 5 city departments, BOMA, Cricket Wireless, and Sports Clips right now going to be passing candy out to the kids as they drive through. We don't have a rain date on this one. It is rain or shine, as long as there's no thunderstorms, because they don't have to get out of the vehicles. So we'll be there passing candy out in the rain. So.
I had a lady ask me why the drive-through. I said, well, at the time, this is about all that can be done because there's so much going on right now. And I left it at that.
The drive-through started during COVID.
Yeah.
Because we were one of the only communities that
Yeah, I
was
had told her
hosting
that
these
too, you know.
things. It went so well that first year, we did it the same way the second year.
Right.
And it's just, everybody seems to enjoy it. Every kid gets something. You're not having parents out there trying to herd kids into a certain direction. It just works out better for us. This way, we get more city departments involved, so I think we have 5 departments, 6 departments.
5 departments.
It just works out better for us.
I say this every year, but I remember the last year that we had it in the field, and we were trying to get the 0 to 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
0 to 3 only. 0 to 3 only. I'm on a loudspeaker, and you know me. I don't need a loudspeaker. I'm on a loudspeaker. 0 to 3 only. And man, when that yellow thing dropped, the 7, 8, 9, and 10-year-olds, they were trampling
Yes.
those little kids
Kids, yes.
trampling. And now, if you could keep that from happening, going back to the grass where you just walk out there and throw eggs and give them 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, that would be awesome. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen. The drive-through, the grandparents, the great-grandparents, they don't have to get out and stand in the weather. They don't have to fight the crowd. You know, the waiting in the line has gotten better. Now, this year, I'm going to need one of you all. I know Giles is usually out there. I'm not going to be able to go up there and get the ages and scream them back. Somebody's going to have to fill in for me. So, you know, you got to have a big mouth.
Oh, well.
Why you look at me?
But, you know,
I do have a question about that. So with the way it is now, because I've never attended the draft, but I remember it did start during COVID, but that's in Smyrna, they still did it at the park. So with the drive-through, that's, you don't have to worry about ages. You just, or how do you do that? Or when the cars come up, you give them
they've come up with a great plan, and Kathy will tell you.
We do still offer the golden egg for the age
Okay.
groups. So that's why we ask the age groups. And the golden egg is hidden in bags, separated in boxes for the age groups.
Mm-hmm.
So it is still, nobody knows who gets the golden egg in our department as the candy or the bags are handed out. And they'll let us know as they drive through and get presented hopefully as they drive through and they get presented the basket. Mm-hmm. So it is still, again, hidden. So every child has an opportunity to get that golden egg.
Okay, so I guess I wasn't. I guess I was thinking you were actually handing out.
We're not.
So
It's hidden in the box. Right. So we've got the age
Okay.
groups. So we've got the golden eggs are 0 to 3, 4 and 5, 6 to 8, and 9 to 12. So we've got the bags separated in those age groups, and so that 9 to 12 golden egg is in that box. So a 9 to 12-year-old will get that bag. We just don't know what child until they look in their bag and see which one got it.
So when they drive up, you're just asking what age is in the
They will
car?
ask what age, correct.
And then they open it right then before they drive off to see if they have the golden.
Most of the time, yes.
That's the idea.
That's the idea.
Okay.
Sometimes they don't claim them, and they'll have to claim them after the fact. They can come to our office and get it. But last year, all 4 of the baskets were claimed at the event in the park.
Okay.
So that way it's fair to all the children.
Right.
Nobody knows who's going to get it. And that, of course, that's why we ask the age. So a 9 to 12-year-old is going to get a bag out of that box, or a 0 to 3.
Okay, because I was just kind of wondering the flow, if that slows it down or if it's pretty even. Or
It doesn't really slow it down.
Doesn't really slow it down. Now, to take it a step farther, if all 4 of those eggs materialize, let's say halfway through, then the next car that pulls up, Kathy or whoever will say, we don't need to know their ages.
okay,
You'll just say, I got 4 kids, 5 kids. But that until them eggs have been accounted for, you got to say, can you tell me the ages? And they'll say, some of them will say, oh, I got 2 4s, 1 3, 2 5s, a 8, and a 6. And then you have to turn around and scream it to whoever's handing them out. That was my job, is turn around and scream it to them.
but the
now
kids
once
definitely do have to be there when they come
Oh,
through,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But once the golden eggs have materialized and they know that they're gone,
It doesn't really matter.
then it don't matter. You just need a head count.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It moves pretty fast. And there's always going to be naysayers. Always. Fact of life. You know, you can't. If you want to get into a business to make everybody happy, don't get into politics.
Like, is there one like that?
It ain't going to happen. But I hope all of you can make it. I will be there.
Planning on it.
I don't plan on doing a lot of moving around, but I'll be there. I may get the Easter Bunny on the golf cart. I think I did that one year and drove him around, or her, or whoever, and let them wave and take pictures and so on and so on. It kind of breaks up the monotony of waiting in line. Any more questions?
So if we're coming to assist, what time would you need that help? Or
9:30.
okay,
Yeah, and the line does start pretty early, so you might have to access through the back of the park to get in if the line's already blocked at the front of the park.
all right.
Yeah, you'll have to turn down, but by Aldi's.
And then come back
Yeah,
way.
coming that back way.
That's by the apartments. Right?
Yeah. And if one of these guys or myself or one of these don't happen to not know you, just tell them who you are. They'll let you in. Any more questions? All right, and for the next one, always everybody's one of their favorites. If we can keep David away and keep good weather, we're going to talk about the block party.
All right, this year the block party is on April 25th from 11 to 3. Registrations are open. They've been open for a few weeks. It includes a touch-a-truck, which is a fan favorite with the families, family activities, vendors, and food trucks. So pretty much the same setup as the last few years. I think we're planning on doing it in the back of the park again this year. It flows better. And we will have that, the back of the touch-a-truck area will be for the horn blowing with the signs warning for hearing-sensitive people. So to keep the noise further away from the vendors and the food trucks.
We're going to get live flight.
I have sent an invitation to them. I've not heard back, but I'm hoping we will.
Now the fire department and all of them are going to be out there. Oh, yeah.
Fire, PD, city departments. We've got EMS has signed up, Sheriff's Department, military signed up so far. So we've got heavy equipment, vehicles, emergency vehicles right now. So.
And I guess if any of you guys know anybody that's got big souped-up trucks or any of that, you can get their information, pass it to Kathy. Kathy will reach out to them. And, you know, whether it be one of them big pickups or a 18-wheeler or any of that stuff.
We'll take anything.
Yeah, as long as it's a big. Kids like to, rub on them and touch them and all that.
Blow the horn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big issue we won't even talk about.
So do you have the same vendors that come back, or is it a way that they can get information?
Well, right now the event's on Facebook, and there is a web page on our website that gives all the information for the event, plus there's links for sponsors, touch-a-truck registrations, and vendor registrations. All those links are live right now.
Okay.
Any questions? Giles, you look like you're contemplating.
No, I'm good.
All right, so it looks like we moved the carnival up a couple of months, Miss Kathy.
We did. It has moved to May, and they've added a weekend. So this year, they're going to be open for 2 weekends, starting May 15th. They're going to be open that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The following weekend, they're going to be open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So 6 to 10 Thursdays and Fridays, 1 to 10 Saturdays and Sundays.
Wow.
Yep.
Now, is it the same ones that's been there?
It is. It is. Armbands are going to be $25, and tickets are $1, and rides usually take 3 to 4 tickets.
I'm thinking, I already gained 10 pounds thinking about them big Italian sausages.
So,
That's pretty awesome.
yep.
So 15th through 24th, so it'll actually be the 15th, 16th, 17th, and then,
And then
Great.
21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. They will be closed that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
nice. Ooh, people going to have to start saving up big time. Because hobbies are not cheap.
And they'll be here before school gets out, too. So they're going to be here before people start vacationing.
It won't, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be so dang hot.
That was one reason the request was to move it to May. Yeah.
Last couple of years, it's been smoldering out there. Yeah, I mean smoldering. Any questions? Now, this next one, I don't know what this is. Color walk, flag raising.
Okay, this year we're celebrating America 250.
Yeah.
So we have added this event in honor of the America 250. It's a flag. June 14th is Flag Day, so it is scheduled for June 13th for the weekend of Flag Day. So the fire truck will display the flag like they do at the 4th of July at the back of the park. And we are doing a color walk that will begin at the new building near Schreibman, go down the walking trail. The turnaround point is at 1.776 miles, and then return back to the new building. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. It'll
Walk
start.
down to the multipurpose.
It'll start at the new building, CDS, the Public Works building, down the walking trail to wherever you hit 1.776 for 1776. There'll be a photo op there, and then that'll turn back around and end back up at the new Public Works building.
I should be able to walk by then.
Well, it should be.
And the national battlefield for the America 250 for the county, they're doing passports. So it's to help bring more participants to these county activities. So this particular event has been turned into the county for the passport. So their passport has to be stamped for all of the events that the county is celebrating to, I don't know if they're giving a prize away at the end, but this particular event will be the Laverne event in their passport to bring people from all over the county to the event. So. This event also, we were looking to buy the little American flags for people to display in their front yard. So those will be passed out at this event for Laverne residents as well.
What, I'm just thinking because the young lady that used to do it, I wish we had something. That may be something next year that Miss Tarita could work on. What day is Juneteenth?
It's
June
June 19th. I don't know what day of the week.
19th, so it's the following
It's
week.
actually the 9th.
That'd be something that you need to maybe next year, being you're on this board, that maybe you could take the bull by the horns, because the young lady that we used to get it, because it's not a city-sponsored event, but if we could get somebody to take it over, I might be able to talk the city into making a donation towards that. Does that sound about right, David?
Yes, sir. That'd have to go before the
Yeah.
mayor and alderman.
That's what I mean. It'd have to come before us, and I could advocate for it, but we need somebody to spearhead that. And I know Hope was going to help her at one time, and something happened.
So, yeah,
I'm
she
not
couldn't.
sure. Not sure, but anyway, I was looking at this date, and that's what made me think about it and you. But yeah, that sounds pretty cool. What day is that? A Saturday?
It's on a Friday.
On a Friday.
Well,
No.
no. This event, the color walk's on Saturday.
Yeah.
On the
Juneteenth is on a
Yeah,
Friday.
yeah, that's what I mean. The 13th is on a Saturday.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions about that?
I was going to say, when you were talking about, I know I do help with the Smyrna one, so that's the 20th.
I know you do, and we're going to get you away from Smyrna.
Well, I can do both of them, probably,
Okay.
maybe.
Yeah, I know. I tried
It's
to.
like,
I tried to get there last year for some of them groceries y'all had, and it was that day was hot.
it was
I remember that. That was hot.
so
there.
warm.
Yeah, but just
Yeah.
while we're talking about this date, I just want to,
Yeah.
not trying to load you up on your first day, but we do need somebody spearheaded, and
Yeah.
you know it's certainly need somebody that knows about Black history. The other lady,
I think I met her. It's been a few years.
What was her name?
Shermill.
Shamel Babalosi.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was super. All right, any more questions about this? Golly, we're already up to the parade of lights. What happened to July 4th?
Well, we just put the parade. July 4th will be on the next meeting. Parade of Lights was just on here for an informational to get some feedback since we
Okay.
are going to
Okay.
start planning.
Okay.
I know at one time you said you wouldn't mind seeing the parade moved up because it gets so cold at night. So I'll let Kathy take over.
We Because we do the tree lighting ceremony with the parade, it is dark by 4 p.m. So we were talking about moving it from 5 p.m. to 4 p.m. But because the Parade of Lights, it has to be dark. So,
Well, because, I mean, it doesn't have to be pitch black, but at the same time, man, by the time that happens, it's cold.
well, with the tree lighting ceremony, though,
Well, that's what I mean. It don't have to be pitch black for the tree lighting. And if it's getting dark at 4:30 at the latest, if we started at 3 by the time the parade and you get everybody in the park, that was just something I threw at them. Whatever you all think, because that'd be something this board would have to vote on. But man,
We personally would be good to moving it to 3. Got to put the tree lighting about 5 o'clock at the latest, and it's definitely dark by then. But we didn't want to move it too far up in the day without this board's approval.
Right, because they've got a lot of other
well, my
things
big
going.
thing is not so much the tree lighting as it is the temperatures, because people are standing around miserable, especially waiting on Santa Claus and Miss Claus, and standing out there for 2 hours in the dark is ridiculous. Watch us change the time, and that day it'll be in the 70s. Welcome to Tennessee. Like it 70 yesterday, snowed today. There's never a happy medium, but I know that Smyrna and them have theirs in the afternoons, but they don't have a tree lighting, I don't guess.
not that day.
No,
No.
they don't.
But yeah, I think we definitely need to move it up. Let's pick a time and we'll vote on it. What do you all feel? What are you thinking?
I agree with you.
Yeah, it's been
I haven't been.
5 o'clock is good. You should know.
Yeah.
If it's a weekend day, I think those hours will work. 3 o'clock throughout the week, and then 5 o'clock the traffic on Mercury Road, people getting off work, that's crazy.
Yeah, it'd be the first Saturday generally in December.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you think start the parade at 3? Is that what you're thinking?
I mean, it would be over in the dark. We originally put 4 o'clock because of the darkness, because the Parade of Lights theme being in the dark as well. We moved it to 4 because it's dark at 4 for the parade. But
Okay, so let me ask you this. Does it have to be called the Parade of Lights? Can we not change it to the Laverne Christmas Parade or something? And because a lot of people, golly, I'm trying not to be such a bah humbug, but a lot of people want to come out and see the floats and the stuff, and then there's a few people and the kids that like to see all the flashing lights and stuff. But which one outweighs the other that we have to have a parade of lights?
It originally started Parade of Lights because when it started, it was unique. Nobody else was doing a night parade.
I agree.
We definitely don't mind as a department changing the name of it. I don't know how well that would go. We took a beating when we changed Goblins and Goodies years ago, and then we took another beating when we changed Old Timers Day to Fall Festival. So we're not opposed to change.
Getting beat up is part of this
I
program.
think whatever you do, though, you want it to end at the park at dark. So we kicked this around today amongst us because we had first thought about separating the tree lighting from the parade.
Well, we used to do that and come down here to City Hall and light that tree out there.
well, it was at the end of the parade.
Yeah, it was at the
though.
end of the parade.
It's just the parade was
the parade
reversed.
ended here.
Is that when it was? Yeah. And now that
I don't know if we'd have there's so many logistical things involved. Pictures with Santa Claus. It's such a big night for us. If we start separating elements and trying one over here on a Wednesday night or a Thursday night and then a parade during the day on a Saturday, are we taking one good thing and making 3 not so good things?
if we have it during the day, can we throw candy?
I don't think we can throw candy at all anymore.
Not anymore.
That's such
But
a,
absolutely not at dark.
So we definitely wouldn't be opposed to moving it to 3 p.m. That would at least put and have say, tree lighting at 5, the parade would end at the park by 4:30 at the latest.
Well, that gives you know as well as I do that a lot of people like to stand around up at the park and mingle, drink hot chocolate, Santa Claus. You got the skate rink that's ready, and I just know that by 7 o'clock, man, it's cold and uncomfortable cold. And I think too, if you did that, do you think that maybe you would get more vendors up there at that time of day? Or
Well, we did away with the Winter Festival last year. We didn't do the Winter Festival. Last few years, the Roy Waldron market was the same day. So I don't think moving it earlier would give us any more vendors because they're inside a gymnasium at Roy Waldron. So we did away with that part because they weren't getting any foot traffic, and like you said, it was so cold. So we weren't getting the same vendors back year after year because they were one and done.
oh, it was miserable.
Yeah. So we
Miserable.
kind of did away with that. We just offered the pictures, the tree lighting, and the snow rink with the hot chocolate and cookies this last year. So
I know the Parade of Lights. I get it. Unique. I get it. I don't see why we can't call it the Laverne Christmas Parade or some.
Just put Laverne Christmas Parade of Lights. Put Christmas Parade of Lights.
Well, I understand the Parade of Lights. So I think between now and March, April, May, our next meeting.
I think if we're going to move it to 3 p.m., we definitely need to address the name change because it's going to be almost over before it gets dark outside. So you're taking the Parade of Lights element out of it. I'm not opposed to changing the name to Laverne Christmas Parade. I mean, I think that would work for all of us.
they'll still come out.
I do too.
And probably more people, like you said.
More people probably come out.
Yeah.
Would the word Christmas or holiday make a difference?
What do y'all think?
I guess I've never spent. Well, I really haven't seen the whole light. I've actually the times I've been has been at the end. I guess because I didn't have small kids anymore, so it wasn't as fun. But so I would come to the end. And it's like you say, if it was cold, I may just come in and leave. It wasn't. So is the? I mean, so does it seem like a lot of people like the light effect, or it's just kind of it's all part of it all together?
I think more people like the lights at the park once we get up there and they get to mingle. I don't know that they like it so much coming up Murfreesboro Road. They can't even see us waving. Here I am practicing all year.
We can't even videotape it. We tried videotaping it one year like the other cities, and you can't see the tape.
Because of the light.
And I think David uses a good word, the unique part, the nighttime, but again, the you can't see the lights. So I think we need to pick a time right now, tonight, vote on it, and then by our next meeting, let's come up with a name. You all come up with a name. Give us a couple names to work with, and then we'll vote on the names. Is that fair?
So is there nothing to do at the park?
I
I'm
was
sorry.
going through. So what is a good time to start? So we don't have to go through all.
No, we're not going to. We're going to pick a time.
Let's figure what's a good time to
I
start.
think what Giles said, and I agree, is 3 o'clock start time.
It's good then. Let's vote on 3 then.
3 o'clock start time.
So is there nothing to do with the lights at the park after the parade?
Yeah, we'll
So
do
maybe do it then instead of the whole time?
by the time we finish up the parade and give everybody time to come in, even though it only takes us about 40 minutes, so it's 4 o'clock, or not even 4, we're up front. So all the other parade people have to come in, go park their vehicles. People are still coming in. It's going to be
6 o'clock.
as close to 5 o'clock as possible, and it's going to be dark.
Dark, yeah.
And if it's cold, you're not going to be out in that bitter cold, because once that sun goes down or it gets dark, man, it gets cold.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it gets to I don't mind being cold, but it gets frigid cold, you know? And I see them kids and parents coming up Murfreesboro Road, man, they're bundled up and, you know, but I think we should start it at 3 o'clock. What do you say?
Yep, I agree. It's good.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
You okay?
Yeah.
And then that'll give Dave and them 2 months to come up with some names, and we will, I know Andrew and Molly will throw us in some names, and we'll vote on the name. How's that? Is that fair, David?
Fair to us. If
And that'll
We
get you
send
guys
an
out of there at a decent hour.
if we send an email out with names, and you guys can send us suggestions also, but
Okay.
if we send an email out would you send them out as a group or individual? Because if it went out as a group, you couldn't respond as a group. You'd have to respond individual.
Yeah, always, and I was going to tell you that, Teresa. Anytime you get an email from them, don't never reply back to the group. Always reply back individual.
Okay.
Okay, any more questions about that? I guess they'll send us out some names. We'll pick one. Now, I want to back up a little bit also back to this beautification in Greenway. If you all think about some things that maybe you'd like for them to look into as far as beautification, putting your face up on a billboard or something.
That'll work, Mr.
You know, that'll cut down on the people moving to Laverne. Seriously though, send it in to Park and Rec, Kathy or Molly, and if you have any suggestions or ideas, and each time we have a board meeting, if there is something on there, we can talk about it. Anything else? Miss Tarita, you got any
No,
comments?
no, not at all.
Okay. Welcome aboard.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hopefully this will give you a little bit of idea how this works. We are not a governing board, so we don't have any say-so, but we do make suggestions, and then David brings it before us, the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, and then we vote on it. So anything that we do or say here is not really written in stone. So, and hopefully getting the cameras back up, your pretty face will be on camera.
Well,
Yay.
I think Miss Tarita might have been on camera before. Did I hear a rumor that she was on an episode of the Family Feud, maybe?
Was she? I know, yeah.
Did you tell him that?
That is right. I remember that.
He did not tell me. I've seen the video.
Oh,
Because I think Steve Harvey said, "Is it Tarita?"
I'm glad the cameras aren't on today. No, we didn't win, but we had a good time losing. So, yeah, but it was fun. I thought.
Did you enjoy meeting Steve Harvey?
Yes, I did. That was the
You
best
didn't.
part.
You didn't ooh and ah or none of that crazy stuff.
No,
You
no.
didn't show all that.
Well, I wasn't at. No, I could not.
Okay.
What episode number was that?
Oh, it's been years ago. Actually, it's probably almost 10 because we had to wait 10 years before we could, same group, could do it again, and our years were up last year. So.
Miss Mary Jane, you got any comments?
no, everything's looking good.
Mr. Giles?
Glad to be back. I got a lot going on.
Yeah, they keep us busy. And our new vice chair. You have anything?
Everything's good.
All right. I think we had a good meeting. It's a lot to talk about when we come back. Our next meeting will be May 18th, right here in this boardroom. With that, I will call this meeting adjourned.